All right, everybody, Bryce here, coming at you with another real quick crypto market update. And, it's no secret that April's been off to a rough start. Bitcoin found resistance at its 200-day moving average, right around $48,000. Ethereum found resistance at its 200-day moving average, right around $3,500. But they've returned down to their volume pointed controls for Bitcoin right around 40K, where it's finding some support, where there's also a huge chunk of open interest in terms of the options market, right at $40,000. So I think it's going to find some good chunky support at that level. And then for Ethereum, it pulled all the way back down to $3,000, where again is a huge volume point of control right there, as well as an area of massive open interest in terms of the option market. So again, I think that it's going to be kind of a sticking point. It should offer some strong support after a pretty tremendous pullback here in the crypto markets after getting rejected at the 200-day moving average. But what's kind of causing all of this, the volatility, if you will, or some of this pullback, right? I think a lot of it has to do with the inflation that we're seeing in the commodities market, as well as just the inflation overall that's been caused by such a tremendous amount of quantitative easing. And now or not we, but the Federal Reserve and all of these central banks are starting to rein in their monetary policy. They're starting to tighten it. And what that tightening does, it's like a faucet, right? And the more you open the faucet, the more money is in the ecosystem. So prices tend to rise in that ecosystem because there's more dollars. Now, that also causes inflation because there's more dollars chasing these assets, and the assets, whether it's commodities or stocks, are scarce, right? And so now we're in a little bit of a pickle where prices have risen too hard, too fast because we got the COVID pandemic, which really kind of kinked the supply chain. So there's more money kind of chasing after fewer things that are available. So again, that's what's happening. There's this inflationary type spiral. And so why are prices selling off in reaction to this is because interest rates are probably going to be rising in a very steep manner. And all of these CPI prints, right, when inflation, the official inflation numbers come out, once a month, and the FOMC, the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, comes out once a month, and they say, what they're going to be doing with interest rates in reaction to that inflation print. And so bottom line, all of this inflation is causing markets to get whipsawed, right? Prices are going higher one day because of just that natural proclivity to higher prices in inflationary periods, but it's going down the next day in anticipation of aggressive rate hikes. And again, rate hikes generally cause the cost of capital to get more expensive, so less liquidity in the ecosystem because there's less borrowing. And so there's just a huge whipsaw going on. And why are we talking about this right now? It's because this week in April, the second week of April here, we have so many announcements from the Federal Reserve and from the central bank, and we have the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that come out and let us know how inflation is doing. So the markets are very volatile because there's not much certainty on what's going on in terms of forward visibility for the prices of oil, for the prices of commodities. There's war that's brewing. So all of this stuff causes tremendous volatility in the markets, and crypto doesn't escape that. But I did see a funny report, or not funny, but interesting report from Bank of America recently that was talking about how after all this dust settles, right, once maybe there's a massive washout in the markets, maybe similar to what happened in March of 2020, where there's a very sharp drawdown, which I could see happening, right? I could see that happening whereby, the supports break, the Fed, announces that they're tightening, the markets overreact, everything sells out, people get liquidated, they're cleaning bodies up off the street, so to say. And then the market has a slow recovery after that. That could be one thing, but this Bank of America report said that, if something like that were to happen, and there was this big flush out that people are starting to talk about, commodities and crypto would be on the rise after that. And, at the end of the day, I think a lot of our belief system in the U.S. dollar, it's being tested right now. I think a lot of our belief system in the petrodollar is breaking down, if you will, as other countries start to say, hey, we know we've only been able to trade oil in dollars since the 70s, but hey, guess what? Now we're going to do it on different terms. And so a little bit of the global order seems to be breaking down, if you will, which has caused more uncertainty in markets. That's why you're seeing up and down, up and down. But the long story short is that I've never been more bullish on crypto. I've never been more bullish on a peer-to-peer form of money that is censorship resistant. It's apolitical, it's neutral, it's able to be transferred anywhere in the world at any time of the day for virtually no cost. And it's there's these software programs. That's what they are, and you could make them extensible by APIs. It just makes money smarter. So it's an inevitable trend, right? That money will be purely digitized. It will all move on to a blockchain. At least that's what I believe. And so when we see kind of some of these short-term fluctuations in the market, you always want to zoom out. Say, okay, has anything changed about what I believe and why I'm here for the long term? No, nothing's changed. Bitcoin didn't get hacked. Nothing got broken. Everything is still, chugging along. There's just some macro uncertainties that cause crazy fluctuations in the price, but I still believe that 5 years from now, Bitcoin, crypto, it will be the end-all be-all of finance and money, right? And so who cares if I'm buying at $3,000 per Ethereum or $2,000 or $1,000, right? When I think that over the long term, this is going to be a trend that puts these things at multiples of where they are, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times higher. And so framing it like that, understanding that, you don't need to go all in and all out and all in and all out at any given time. Just slowly scale into the market, get comfortable, and understand what this market is. That's the most important thing. Understand what crypto is, and get comfortable navigating exchanges and all that kind of stuff. Get a community, and that's the market update. Now, actually, if you guys don't actually already have a community, if you guys don't have a platform for education and for getting smarter about crypto and for following the news about crypto, and for seeing all the latest breaking insights and technical analysis and fundamental analysis, if you don't already have that, but it sounds like interesting and you kind of want it, well, I highly encourage you guys to just click that button below. It's that orange button below, and do a $1 trial, okay, with CryptNation. And a $1 trial, and it's for 2 weeks. Again, hit that orange button below. You'll get all of our latest breaking insights. We've got a weekly newsletter that we put out, videos, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you want to dominate and to crush the crypto markets, and you want a community as well, thousands, and I think over 10,000 people now in this group, 11,000. We need you guys to be a part of this, okay? So without further ado, hit that button below. $1 2-week trial. We'll talk to you soon.